We want to give you an update on the Canadian connection to Tunisia's ousted president. The federal government has revoked the permanent resident status of his brother-in-law, who's been in Montreal for the last week. Dan Halton reports.
We're camped out in front of this hotel in Montreal's West Island, where it's believed Belhassen Trabelsi has been hiding out here for the past few days. No confirmation of that, but this is where the many people in the Tunisian community have been coming and attempt to kind of track him down. There's a lot of anger here. We know that Trabelsi arrived with his wife, 4 children, a nanny, and 2 bodyguards last Thursday here in Montreal aboard a private jet, and that they've been here despite having been their diplomatic status revoked by other countries, despite an international arrest warrant issued from the Tunisian's provisional government. Little has been said or done by the federal authorities here, be it immigration or public security, until today. As you mentioned, his permanent residency status has been revoked. It's not clear under exactly what grounds to obtain that status. You have to have lived in Canada for at least 2 of the past 5 years, and it's not clear, according to members of the Tunisian community, that Mr. Trabelsi and his family would have been here, so that could give us one reason why. But many are still upset it's taken the government so long to act. They would have liked to see it move quickly. There's been attempts to move his assets. As you know, Trabelsi is the brother-in-law of the ousted Tunisian president, who is believed to be in Saudi Arabia, and he's accused of stealing millions of dollars. He ran many banks, he owned a private airline, and he's accused of stealing millions in government money. So there's a lot of anger still in the community, even though we're hearing now that his permanent residency has been revoked.
That's Dan Halton reporting from Montreal. The brother-in-law of ousted Tunisian President Zine Abidine Ben Ali has had his Canadian residency revoked. Belhassen Trabelsi is believed to be living in an expensive Montreal hotel after arriving a week ago. Members of Montreal's Tunisian community have been protesting Trabelsi's presence since Wednesday. Haroun Bouazi is a spokesperson for the Tunisian Solidarity Group. He joins me now by phone from Montreal with his reaction to this news. Haroun, what is Montreal's Tunisian community saying about this, about revoking his Canadian status?
So, you know, the Tunisian people are clearly looking for justice. This is why people died in Tunisia, for democracy and justice, and we don't feel having justice with this kind of reaction from the Canadian government. What we really expect is that the Canadian government cooperates with the Tunisian justice, now that we're building a new democracy and new justice, to send this person back to Tunisia for a fair trial. This is what we want.
Okay,
yeah, and the second thing that we would like is to freeze all the money of all these people related to dictatorship, even the people that are not here as a resident but have money here, so that when the justice is made in Tunisia, the Tunisian people can get back some of the money that got stolen from them for the past 23 years.
And the Canadian government has hinted that it could freeze Ben Ali's assets. So is this taken at least as a good first step to revoke his brother-in-law's residency here?
I really never lost, you know, the values of justice and democracy are values shared with the Canadian government and with the Canadian people. I'm still waiting for some strong facts from the Canadian government toward these 2 points. And I honestly feel that something will happen in the next few hours or next few days.
What is the Tunisian community in Montreal doing to get their message across then to the Canadian government to do more?
So, you know, I received a lot of phone calls from people from everywhere in Canada, you know, creating petitions, writing to their MPs, calling their MPs. We, as a collective, we are going to demonstrate in front of the Canadian Parliament in Ottawa on the 2nd of February, Wednesday at noon, to put pressure on the Canadian government so that Tunisian people can get some justice after 23 years of dictatorship.
Now, the Tunisian Prime Minister has just announced that Tunisia's first free elections will actually be organized by an independent body and monitored by international observers. Do you think Canada should play a role in overseeing those elections?
If the Tunisian government asks for it, I think Canada can play a major role. You know, we don't have institutions in Tunisia for elections. We don't have election Canada. And clearly, Canada has a big experience on democracy and can really be very helpful for the Tunisian government to build all these new institutions and to monitor from the outside world.
And Haroon, before we let you go, tell us how people in Montreal are responding, knowing that Ben Ali's brother-in-law is there. We have our reporter Dan Halton in Montreal. People are staking out a hotel where he's believed to be.
People are very angry. They're seeking for justice. I know yesterday there is Tunisian people that from their own initiative went in front of that hotel, which is just in front of a highway, between midnight and 3 in the morning. They were waiting there and freezing because they really want to do something. They want justice to come back. They really feel that people that died in Tunisia didn't die for nothing, and they're seeking for this justice. And I hope the Canadian government will move toward this. You know, revoking the resident permanent is not enough. It's just letting this person go anywhere else where justice cannot be made. We have to bring this person back to Tunisia.
All right, Haroon, thank you for joining us today. Haroon Bouazi, spokesperson for the Tunisian Solidarity Group, speaking with us from Montreal.